I'm live, but I'm waiting on everybody to show. I hope I see. I don't know. I've never done this before, so I hope to show up. I've done it, so I don't know how well it'll work. Even show. I hope it does. Oh, yeah, okay, it does. Waiting for everybody to show. Waiting for people. It'll take a while, I guess. Oh, it looks like no one's showing up just yet. So I'm just sitting here quietly waiting and waiting. Now, for you people that don't understand what a pendulum is, it is this, and it's basically spirit energy based. So whatever happens is them telling everybody their answers. And basically, what happens is if you ask a question and it's yes, it will come back and forth towards me. And if it's a no, it'll go sideways. And if it's a maybe, it goes in a circle. Now, pendulums, they pick you. You can't really exactly pick a pendulum. I mean, you can like different ones, you can think they're pretty or whatever, but it's ultimately the pendulum that picks who gets what. If it doesn't like you, you'll know because it will not respond to you. You have to keep your answers short and precise. Like, you can't have lengthy questions because then it could be a yes, it could be a no, it could be a maybe all in one. And so then it wouldn't be able to respond correctly to what you're asking. So it's always a yes or no question. And when doing the yes and no questions, you have to make sure that they're not like, well, maybe I'll get a blue truck or a red truck, and if I don't get a truck, then blah blah blah. You can't basically do that. Oh, I dropped it. I dropped him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to drop my pendulum. Oh. And yeah, as you see, it doesn't break. It's not good for it to do. So yeah, I sometimes have issues on dropping things. I don't mean to, but it happens. I am so sorry. And yes, I do kiss my pendulum. Um, they do have feelings basically because yeah, they're spirit based. Um, I don't like hurting it. That's not good to do. I am so sorry. You forgive me? Okay, good. I really, really did not mean to drop you. Also, when you're talking to it, um, be kind. Don't be rude. Don't be mean. It's really not a good idea to be like that. It really hurts their feelings. Sorry about that. I was just typing. Um, if Cindy's there, Cindy Dion McQuinn, um, she asked a question. Uh, Okay, that's 2 questions. So I'll do the first question, and she wants to know if she's going to get the job. Cindy wants to know if she's going to get her job that she wants. Okay, you see that? That's a yes. Okay, stop, stop, stop. Okay, and the second question is, what was it? Said, um, stop. Are you going to sell the house? Cindy wants to know if she's going to be selling her house. Okay, you see that? That's a maybe, Cindy. You might be able to sell your house. There's too many variables in it for it to know exactly if you will or not. But it is a maybe, so that's good. Okay, stop. Make sure I hold it better. Don't want to drop it again. Okay, thank you. Okay, Adele, you said you want to know if you will find true love. Adele Smith is looking for true love and wants to know if they will find it. Will Adele find true love? You see that? You see that, Adele? That's a yes. You will find your true love. Okay, stop. 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 And that's another thing. When you're doing the pendulum, you have to make sure that when you do a question and you finish, to ask it to stop so that you can actually get to the next question without confusing anybody with the next question. And that way it can have a break as well. And thank you for helping us with these questions so far. Anybody else have questions that they need to know or whatever? You guys don't need to be silent. You can talk. That's what the chat's there for. So help you get out questions and everything else that you need. Yeah, Cindy, if you use a chart, you still need to tell it to stop so that it doesn't get confusing. A no is when it goes sideways, straight sideways. A maybe is circular. It's around. When it goes like this, that's maybe. When it goes this way, see, I'm not asking it to move. I'm making it move on this one to show you. Okay? So that's how you learn the maybes and the no's. And of course, yes would be this way. I would have to tell it to stop when you're doing the charts, because like when you're asking questions after questions after questions, it will get tired and you can make the spirit very weak when he's talking to you. So that's why. You can use any pendulum that you want, but basically it picks you, it chooses you. When I got this one here, I went to the witch's market. It's a brand new thing. And when I got it, I was looking at a whole bunch of them, and I got to choose this one because all of them asked me to come take them home. So I was like, well, I can only choose one because I could only pay for one. I mean, the other ones were pretty, but I just felt really connected with this one. Like it's a connection between you and that spirit that is connected with it. Sometimes they have more than one spirit connected to the pendulum. There could be like two or three, sometimes six. Like it all depends on how the pendulum was in the beginning. And yeah, you can do a cleansing on the pendulum to clean it so that it's all cleansed up and ready to work with again as well. So yeah, yeah, there is some that have been cursed. Um it sucks because the pendulum, it wasn't the pendulum's fault, it was whoever created that for them. But there is ways to cleanse it so that you don't have it cursed anymore. There's the moonlight wash you can do. There's the salting. There's the witch's salt that you can use to cleanse it. It's kind of like the talisman, the amulet type of cleansing that you do to clean out the curse. And you also do the binding. You also do binding of the curse so that you don't get it to come back onto the pendulum. And then you can then recharge and reprogram your pendulum. And a new spirit that is good or whatever will come back in to the pendulum, and then you'll be able to work with it. Okay, if it's still giving you issues with it, that means either it's not cursed and it doesn't like you and it's not your pendulum. Because there's sometimes when we go out and we get something and it's not ours, but it's for somebody that we know. So it came into your possession for you to be able to give it to who needs it, who it's waiting on. So if it's giving you headaches, it's probably that it's not for you, that it's for somebody else. If you've already done all the cleansing and clearing and making sure that it's reprogrammed to you, then it means that it's not yours. I've had that issue with a few of my friends where they've picked up a pendulum or they've picked up some kind of talisman or amulet and it was not for them. Like even the tarot cards can be that way too. Um, so you basically say, okay, this item it's pretty, it's nice, I like it, but it's not mine. So either you find the person for it or you just leave it be as a decoration because it's not yours. Like I said, there's the pendulum, the tarot cards, sometimes crystal balls, mirrors. There are certain items that are meant for only you. And if you pick up somebody else's that is supposed to go to somebody else, then it will cause you headaches, stress, confusion. It won't work right. It'll lie to you. Um, so you leave it alone. It's just best that way. Sorry, I'm typing. Some people are asking on Facebook instead of on here. So well, if it sharded, that means that the toxicness of the situation was too much for it, or it was trying to tell you that it was not for you and you didn't hear it, and so it broke. What you might have to do is you do a cleansing still of it, and you can bury it. Give it a burial, and that'll send it on its way where it needs to go, and it'll be okay. Yeah, like I said, when you go out and pick a pendulum, you have to actually sense to see if it is yours or not, because sometimes they're not yours. And see that's the thing that they'll call to you. They'll call to you. They'll say, like, you'll get this really big urge to buy that pendulum. Or you could even hear them. Like some people do hear. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, see, it was their pendulum. See, that's the point is that I'm trying to make is that certain pendulums are attached to their owners, okay? So it won't be yours, but you can bury it still. And if possible, bury it near the person that died because it was theirs. Well, you can just bury it where you are then. I mean, honestly, you don't have to take it to where he is. Like I said, you salt it, and then you bury it. That way, the spirit that was involved with the pendulum can go on where it needs to go. If her hospital visit will find out if anything is wrong. So Nico's question is, will the hospital know what's wrong with her on this visit? Okay, Nico, you see this? It is saying yes. So there's your answer. You will be able to get your answer that you need. Okay, stop. Stop, please. No, not really. I don't think so, Adele, that you have to really do a rite of any sort. You just cleanse it, say thank you. Sorry that I wasn't yours, and let it go, basically. Put it in the dirt and let it go. Because, yeah, it really doesn't need much ritualing to do to say goodbye. It's kind of like a funeral situation. Like, you don't really have to, you don't want to. Hello, Cam. Is there a question you need answered? Okay. I'm just waiting for everybody else to give questions then. I can't make them up myself. I gotta give them to me. My pendulum swaying just for fun. You're welcome, Nico, and you're welcome, Adele. It's a lot of waiting game when it comes to waiting for answers, I guess, or questions. See, there's like 4 people it shows. No problem, Adele. Let's it be to you too. My pendulum likes to dance. And it's saying yes. Okay. Tara Lee wants to know, will the kids and her be back in Alberta in 2019 to stay? You see this, Tara? Pendulum saying yes. Okay, stop. Stop. Yeah, like I said, first, also with pendulums, when you're programming your pendulum or understanding it in the beginning, do questions that you know are yes. Okay. That way you can identify which way the pendulum is talking to you. That way, when you get your answers, you'll know what's a yes and what's a no and what's a maybe. And that way, um, you can understand what the pendulum's trying to tell you. Because a lot of different pendulums have their own way of explaining things. Like for some people that have pendulums, the no would be the way I get my yeses. Um, the no would be maybe the maybe twirling. You know, it all depends on the pendulum itself, but for mine, it when it's a yes, it goes back and forth towards me. When it's a no, it goes this way, and when it's a maybe, it turns. So, just to clarify for everybody to understand the differences between a pendulum that you may own compared to mine. And yeah, it says in the beginning, like when you first get the pendulum to program your pendulum to understand who you are, because um, it needs to be connected to you to be able to talk to you the way you guys can talk. Okay. So yeah, I spent about a day talking to it to find out what way was yes, what way was no, what way was maybe. And it, like I said, it took me about a day to get it to understand what I'm feeling, what it's feeling, so that we have no problems. Um, See, that one I have not learned is the I love. I never even thought of doing that. Um, Tara says, here's a trick. Ask it to show you how it says I love you. My and her spins for that. So here's a interesting thing. I have not done. I didn't even know it could do this, but Tara, my sister, says that it can, and so she wants me to try it. Okay. Um, how would I know if it's saying it though? That's the question. Tara, how would I know that it'll say I love you? Show me I love you. Whoa. It's going in a circle. And now it's hitting me on the arm because it's circling so fast. Yes, bigger than usual because it never hits my arm usually. So it's saying it loves me by swinging really fast and very big. Wow, that's cool. I learned something new today. Thanks, Tara. Hey, stop. Thank you, and stop. Now my question is how Tara found that out, because I didn't even know that one. But that's cool. Now that I know that, that's cool. Now, see, I've noticed that a lot of people out there, when they do their pendulum, they have a habit of being rude sometimes to their pendulum to see the reaction of it. And I don't agree with that because that hurts the spirit that's attached to it. That hurts their feelings. I mean, it would hurt your feelings if you picked on it. So always respect your pendulum. Always show it manners. Ask it questions nicely. Don't be rude. It's just really, really respectful is what you need to be towards it. Yes, of course. Yeah, you always say thank you to it when it does its responses and everything because it respectfully answered you. So you have to respect it. I always say thank you. I usually always give it a kiss too to to tell it how much I care for what it's done for me on helping me. Um, when I first got it, I asked if it wanted to be on my altar or if it wanted to be hung up. Because some of them they like to be hung up, and others like to be laid down. And so I put it in the middle of my altar where it belongs, um, and it really likes that more than being hung up. I mean, I did ask it, would you prefer? Which way would you prefer? And so it chose to be laying in the altar. Um, these are little things that people don't always think of, but when you're using these tools, as they consider it, um, you have to be respectful to them and make sure that they're okay with what you're doing towards them because um, each time you use them, it's either positive energy or it's negative energy that you're pulling in. So it's best choice to bring in the most positive you can. Um, one of my friends stated that her pendulum has a habit of lying to her. Now, I've found that the reason for that is either she's not um, being respectful to it, or she doesn't belong to it. Because when you have these amulets, talisman, pendulums, tarot cards, they all become a part of you. They all are about what you feel on the matter of this situation, of how you want to go about your life with them. Now, it's kind of like family situation too, because um, they'll say yes or no or whatever to you. They'll talk to you. They want to be talked to. They don't want to be alone. So you really need to think, do you want this big responsibility about caring about this as well when you have a pendulum? Because um, if you leave it alone every day, and then just once in a blue moon pick it up and say, "Hey, I'm going to talk to you," I'm pretty sure it would start resenting talking to you because you're not respecting it for who it is or what it is. So, yeah, I really think that there's some people out there that don't understand this, and they tend to just leave it alone only for when they feel like they need it. And that's like they'll leave it alone days and days and days on end, and then they'll come and pick it up. For me, I try to talk to it for at least 5 minutes, the least amount a day, because I mean, you wouldn't want to be ignored all day long either. It just seems really silly and unfair. So that's just another thing about the pendulum. It does have feelings towards things. I mean, it's energy, so um, it will say yes, no. As you've seen, it says "I love you," which I didn't know it could do, but now I do. Um, so basically, you see that it's not just a rock. It's not just a crystal. It's not just a stone. It has energy to it, and it'll talk to you about what it feels on things. Like if you ask it, you can ask it questions. I mean, they may sound really silly to some people, but you'll get answers. You will. You'll get answers. You might not always like the answer, but you'll get answers. Like I said, recently, my sister Jana, she asked me a huge question, life altering question to be exact. She asked if she had cancer, and I really didn't want to ask it because I knew that it would come out with the truth. And if it said cancer, I would be devastated. She would be devastated. Her children, you know, the entire family would be just off kilter, and her friends as well. So I was really leery about doing it, but I did do it for her. And when we did find out that she did have cancer, it rocked our world. But we did get good news today about it. Things that I've been telling her, like from the pendulum, I asked it, well, if she did certain things, could it change her results on, you know, living longer and getting rid of it? And it told me. It told me that there is ways of getting rid of it and whatnot. And so I went through that. And so today she went to the doctor, a new one, because the old one was not fit to be a doctor. And well, basically, the doctor from before said that she was on stage 3 cancer, which the new doctor that she's seen today, and he looked at the results and everything, said that she's on only number 1 stage. So that's a huge plus. And it also signified what my pendulum was telling me all along. So it helped a lot on reassuring her that my pendulum was telling the truth to her. So she's going to work on that and get that dealt with. Um, I mean, there's a lot of skepticism when it comes to these tools that we use, like the tarot, the mirror scrying, the pendulum. Um, because a lot of people don't believe in the spiritual realms. Now, see, the thing with it is it's not just spirit, it's also energy, and they don't really understand that um, once you die, you don't get snuffed out. You don't just go into the dirt and you're done. And you definitely don't just go straight to heaven either on things. There is an in between realm where um, it can interact with this realm. So uh, some people call it purgatory, some call it Summerland. But basically, it's where the ghosts and spirits and whatnot can talk to the living, can be around the living, and finish what they need to finish so that they can carry on to the next part. And so, with the pendulum, it gives them a chance to speak to us and be able to help with what they need to help with. Um, so, that's what the pendulum really is basically it's like a spirit, a ghost, or whatever is able to use its energy to help explain things to you. And see, with you being on this side and it being on that side's way different than what is on this side. They can learn and know things that they wouldn't know on this side. They get to see and understand that stuff. So that is why the pendulum, when it says things to you, answers your questions, it is right. It knows what it's talking about because they get to see and know the aspects of what's really happening. It's kind of like going to the end of the book and getting to read all about it. There's so many ways of explaining it, but that's the easiest way to explain the situation with how the spirits and energy work with this to give you the real answers. And it's the same way with tarot cards when you're talking. Um, and spirits talk and tell, and guides, angels, all that. They all work with the tools, with you, to give you the answers that you need to know. Now, is there anything else you guys want to understand and know about it? Because of things that need answering. Was that an orb? Probably. I I have spirits in my house. I admit it, I do. I have lots of orbs in my home. I've done cleansing, so I know they're not evil or bad or negative, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I do have orbs in my home. A lot of times they're family. A lot of times they could be animals too. I have a lot of animals that like to spend time with me. So I am too. I'm really surprised that there's not many questions going on. Oh, what do black orbs mean? Um, sec- I'm, I know this. I know this. I do know this. I've done this many times. I've uh, trying to think. Give me a minute. Well, it's more of a like a lower vibe, like a lower energied spirit is basically what it is. Um, some have like a um, I said, well, black orbs basically what they are is they're a lower energied spirit. They're not exactly bad or anything. They're just they don't have as strong of an energy as others. Um, they need more energy, so a lot of times they will come to you to get more of your energy. So a lot of times, like investigators or just random people that do like mediums or whatever else will consider it as a malevolent type of spirit when it really isn't. It's just a person that doesn't have um, enough energy to sustain itself. So it takes off of others to keep its energy up. You're welcome. I know that's one of the things that I have to do is I have to put up a video about what orb colors mean because a lot of people are coming to me recently asking me what colors are what on orbs. So I will get to that, you guys, I promise. I haven't yet done it. I know I'm slow on my videos recently, but I'm working on it. I've had a lot of new witchlings come around that have been asking for help and needing me, so I have not been able to do my long list of videos that I have, but I will get to them, I promise. And of course, I'm always there to help. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I haven't gotten to the videos that you've been wanting yet. Hi, Kinsey, how are you? Do you have a question? I know for doing pendulums and questions, I'm not doing very many right now because nobody really is asking questions that the pendulum can answer. Yeah, you could probably help it, Kenzie. Um, just basically ask it if it needs help. I'll ask if it needs help if you want me to. Um, Kenzie wants to know if the black orb in her room needs some help from her. Okay, so yeah, it that's why it's there is because it needs some help from you. That's why it's asking. You see that? It's saying yes. The pendulum. Okay, stop. So yeah, you can help it, the black orb. Um, maybe ask your mom to help you with it. Can I pick up on the reasons why? I would have to actually see the room to be able to start picking up the what's going on with it. Because yeah, like I said, well, with the pendulum, I can't ask correctly because it's a yes or no situation. But as for myself, I could probably pick it up if I was there. And so when me and your mom have our webcam moments where we're talking FaceTime, you could probably have us check your room if it's in there at that time, and I could see what it wants if you need. But like the pendulum said that it's asking for your help, so and that's why it's there. So don't be panicked about it. It's just its energy is too low for it to really do much of anything, really. Well, probably not because it's a teenager's room, but to help her out. And not a problem, Kenzie, your family. So of course I will help you. Anyone else have questions that need answering? Hi, Paul. Um, that one is a little too vague for the pendulum to be able to say yes or no to. Um, but I can ask it, I guess, and see what it does. Um, Paul Clydesdale wants to know if you know anything about his uncle. Like, what exactly do you want it to know? Like, if he's sick or, like what? Okay, so Paul Clydesdale wants to know anything about his uncle. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, when you have a vague question, it won't answer. It just stays still. Okay, so you want to know if your uncle is at rest. Okay. Paul wants to know if his uncle is at rest or if he's out doing things in the spirit world. So is he at rest? He wants to know if his soul is at rest. Okay, you see that, Paul? He says yes. The pendulum said yes. Okay, so Kenzie, I have a spirit friend that follows me around, and her name is Jenny. She's a real good ball. Spirits pick up like pencils and stuff and draw. Yeah, actually, yeah, they do. They do. They can pick up things. They can move things. They can drive you crazy with it. They want to. But it does take a lot of their energy. As you see with the pendulum, okay, it is spirit pushing the energy so that it'll move in the way it needs to. Okay, and that is what I'm trying to explain to you is yeah, that they can. Here, I'll even ask it and you'll get the answer from it even. Can spirits pick up pencils and draw and stuff? See? It's a yes. Okay, stop. 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 Okay, Tara wants to know if you will if she will find a home in Airdrie. You're not sure? Or is that a no? Here, just a sec. There, that's better. Now I'm holding the circle like I'm supposed to. That way it'll be better. Okay. Try this again. Tara wants to know if she will find a home in Airdrie. He's doing little tiny circling of a maybe or a no, and I can't tell either way because the way he's doing it. It looks like it's getting tired. See what I mean about pendulums and getting tired? I thank you for all help you're giving. Can you try again, please? Okay. Tara Lee wants to know if Airdrie is where they're moving to and they'll find a home. Okay, that one is a definite maybe. Okay, stop. Thank you. Sometimes it gets tired, so it doesn't want to do what it wants, what it's supposed to. So yeah, like I said, it gets tired. And thank you for helping. Kenzie, are you trying to get Jenny into trouble? Yeah, it was like a no, yes, like maybe situation at first, and I'm going yes or no, or is that a maybe? But yes, it does get tired at times. So I don't use it like a lot. I give a few minutes every day, so it's used to the few minutes a day. So yeah. Yeah, probably. Um, I can ask it. Will Tara Lee be living with her aunt for a little while? That's a yes. You're going to be living with your aunt for a while. Okay, stop. It's all good. Thank you. So yeah, I guess Kenji, you're going to be staying at your aunt's for a little while in the future here. Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, anything else? Anybody else want to know or do? I know it seems so weird that nobody's really asking questions right now. Because, yeah, like earlier, I got like a flood of people asking me to come on, and now I'm getting like nothing. Well, it's better than me just sitting here doing nothing. Paul, do you got any more questions? Cam, do you have any questions? Kenzie, any of you? Can I communicate with your dog? No, because I'm not on webcam, and so I have to like actually look at her to be able to do that. Because yeah, she's not right there asking things, so I have to actually link into seeing her to know what she's thinking and feeling and whatnot. So it doesn't work the same. See, that's one thing that I've noticed with a lot of those fake psychic whatever's out there. They they say things or they do things that you know is not gonna happen. Like that one time I was watching Sylvia Brown on TV, and she's like, um, who here has a dog? And it's like that could be like half the friggin' uh, people that are asking. Like, come on, don't be so variable on everything. And it just, yeah. And then she's like, well, she's like, who likes the color this or that? And then it's ridiculous. Yeah, actually, I have had some scary spirit experiences in my life. I have. I really, really have. Um, with the fact that I can feel, hear, see, and touch spirits, um, they've done some freaky things at times for me. Um, I'll be sitting there, and then they'll come by and decide they're gonna take over my body and to talk to whoever or do whatever. And I'll be sitting there going, "Excuse me, that's mine." Like Nana did. That that was one of the freaky ones because I was so not ready for her to do that. Um, then there has been times where uh, I'll think it's a person standing there. Well, of course, spirits are person, but I'll think it's a live person. And then when I go over to talk to them, they'll just all of a sudden vanish right before my eyes. I've had that. I've had where they've come out of my old room when I was little, out of my closet, and they've been just ahead. And so that was kind of scary, being as how I was like 8 years old. But yeah, there's some strange experiences I've had over the years, but I've learned from them all. They all have reasons why they do the things they do. So, have you been having some strange experiences there, Kenzie? I was just born that way where I could see them, hear them, feel them. I think it's because when I was born, I didn't have a heartbeat, but I was still alive. Actually, I didn't have a heartbeat until I was 14 years old. That was legitimately, they checked on monitors, they had me tested, and they could not figure out why. So I walk both sides of the realms. I can walk spirit and um, living side. I'm not like other people where they're just on one side or the other. I walk both sides. So that's why I understand more things than other people do about the stuff that I'm explaining to everybody. And why I explained earlier about how when you're a spirit or a ghost, you don't just um, go up to heaven or wherever. There is a realm where they can see you, feel you, hear you, and try to fix whatever it is that has gone wrong in their life. Hi, Heather. How's it going? Do you have a question? Well, I guess I'm not growing up anymore, huh? Because you said you used to see spirits when you were younger, then you grew up. Well, I guess I'm still young because I still see them, I still hear them, I still feel them, and I don't think that'll ever change. And like other people out there, they don't believe in the Fae, but I do because I've seen them and I've heard them and I've felt them. So I I think I get to see a lot of the things that others do not get to see, do not get to feel because they have grown up and their third eye is closed. Now, when you're awakening, your third eye opens and you get to see everything out there. Well, just ask and I will ask the pendulum. I mean, there's no wrong answer or questions, really, other than it has to be a yes or no question. You have to make it into a question. That's fine too. I can I can do that. You can give me one question, I'll do that, and then I'll do another question after that. Okay. Heather Bailey wants to know if she has already met the person she's supposed to spend her life with. It says yes. Okay, stop. And thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next question. Yeah, I know, Tara. I see that you're getting there, and that'll be good for you to be able to see all the things you want to see and feel all the things you want to feel and hear all the things you want to hear. And it makes it so much easier when you're actually open to knowing all this stuff too. How common is it for you to see spirits? For me, it's very common, but for others, it's not. Um, well, see, my third eye is wide open. It never really shut. Okay, Heather Bailey wants to know if the person she's supposed to spend her life with is someone she speaks to daily. That's a yes. So, Heather, whoever you're speaking to daily is the one that you're supposed to be with. Okay, stop. Stop. Thank you. Okay, Heather wants to know, is it Rodney that she's supposed to spend her life with? Okay, it says yes. Okay, stop. Thank you. Thank you. Stop. Okay, I just want to put a disclaimer thing on this though. As for the fact that I don't know you or your Rodney or whoever it is, um, enough to be able to say yes or no to anything in your relationship. So, um, it's really up to you what goes on with your relationship with that person. The pendulum did say yes, but it's all up to you, honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. That I'm not saying you have to be with that person. It's all on you. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Next question. How does it? Yeah. It kind of when you get a spirit taking over you, you kind of feel like cold ice, kind of dead. Okay. It's not a really good feeling. Sometimes it it causes like an energy shortage feeling, and you really can't move. It kind of paralyzes you, so it's not fun to get taken over by any spirit of any sort. But I've had it happen a few times, and I've only allowed it when my friend has really needed it. So, uh, okay, so you want to know if you'll ever have good financial state? Is that what you want, Heather? Okay, Heather wants to know if she'll ever be in good financial state. Okay, it's a maybe. So there's too many variables for it to know if it is a yes or no. But it said that it's a maybe. Okay, stop. Thank you. Okay. Does everybody still see me? Just making sure. Okay, good. Yes, even the good ones like Nana, I ended up having the coldness and achiness, and it sucked. But it's all good. Well, what I would suggest, Heather, is with your financials, it you could possibly um, get a jar or an envelope or something and put a little to the side, like $20, even a savings account. Put $20 away every time you get paid, and that will give you a nest egg. to be able to get your home and whatever else you need. Okay? If you just keep on putting that money in every time you get paid, it'll at least give you something. And then maybe the maybe will change to a yes because you've worked on it, you know? Because, yeah, like I don't have a lot of money for myself either. And I basically, I'm looking at trying to get it so that I will be able to have money coming through. But yeah, when I do get cash flow a little better, I will start to put $20 away. And that will give me my nest egg that I need to do what I need to do. But at this point in time, um, I don't even have 20 to put away. But lots of people do. So that would be the better choice to do the 20. I'm only putting away basically $5 away. And that's still giving me a lot compared to what I would have had if I didn't. Tara says, Heather, you need to look inside and see if the job you currently have will help you with your situation. Okay. So you're not able to. Okay. Um, well, have you been looking at different jobs? Well, she's unemployed at the moment, Tara. That's why. Yeah, I can do that, Cindy. I'll ask it. Okay, Cindy Dion McWing wants to know if she's supposed to sell her house. It says yes. Okay, thank you. So that's what it's saying. It's saying you're supposed to sell your house there, Cindy. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a little bit difficult. Like with me, I have disability for my spine. So I have cerebral scoliosis of the spine. It's where the spine twists all the way around and it's cutting nerves and everything else. And so I don't really do much working outside of the home on anything. I used to, and that's what caused this to be really, really bad. But um, hmm. Are you a crafty person, Heather? Because if you do crafts and stuff like that, I said, are you a crafty person? Do you like building things? Okay. You could probably go to like farmers markets to sell your stuff if it's really nice stuff that you make. And to do that, what you would do is you would be putting it above the amount, basically, that you would need to pay for the table. Usually tables that you have to work on at the farmer's market are like $20. So then you basically could make it 25 or 26, depending on what it is, like there's a lot of things going on where a lot of people like the little houses, nature things, gardening stuff. This is what's happening right now. Baked goods is a big seller at those farmers markets. So, like the Hutterites, what they do is they ask for $30 for a pie that will cancel out the table amount, and then it'll give you enough money to be able to do whatever you need with that money. And that would give you an extra amount of cash so that you can put that cash away in a savings account for you to have a nest egg. That's why you would do those crafts, okay? And that way you would know that that money that you make will go to that craft situation. Like it'll give you your home or whatever you need. You take that money, you don't use it for anything other than putting it into your savings or your nest egg. Don't touch it. Do not touch that money. That money does not exist until it is at the amount that you want it to be for your housing. But yeah, do some crafts, like do jewelry, if you know how to knit things like quilts, bedspreads, pillows. There right now marketing right now going on for people because they like to put them in their gardens. Like with it being garden season going on, look at the gardening stuff a lot. And the baked good going on, look at the gardening stuff a lot. And the baked good things. That's the big things that sell at farmers markets right now. And when you get the money from it, you pay the table fee, which is usually like 20 to 25 bucks, something like that. And it's a one-time thing each time you use it. You know what I mean? Like every day, you'll have to pay. But the rest goes into your nest egg savings account. and you don't take from that savings account ever until you get the amount that you need for that house that you want. And that'll help you big time in the end. And keep that goal, right? See, that's a thing that you have to work on trying to get set up, is making sure that your goals of what you want are set in stone, so you don't end up going, well, I've made so much money, I can just take this or that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And lots of people end up doing that and then end up in trouble. But your goal right now in your head is being financially set. So the best choice for that is to financially set yourself up by putting away money. And like I said, there's farmers markets, and now recently the witch markets are coming out too. So you'll be able to do things for the witches market as well. That'll be good. So you'll have those two opening doors for you to be able to do things you need to do. And actually, I'm going to ask the pendulum for you right now and see what it says. Okay? Should Heather take her crafts to the farmer's market for money? See that, Heather? It said yes. You should go to the farmer's market with your crafts and sell them, and you'll get money. Okay, stop. Thank you. Well, see, the thing with it is on that, things that we don't always think are the best tend to be actually really good. Like for me, I do artwork, and sometimes I look at the stuff that I really don't think is that great. Like, this one time I made this bar type of picture. I drew it, and it was just me goofing off that day, honestly. But I put it up for me to sell. And out of all the pictures that sold, it sold. Like, it surprised me because none of the other ones sell, but that one sold. And I was looking at it going, it's my doodling. I was doodling, nothing big, it was nothing, but it's sold. So honestly, like, there's sometimes things that we think aren't that great and they sell. I have a picture when I was just beginning to draw again, and I had a premonition. So I drew the premonition out, and then I put it on my page. And one of the big artists out there that is well known out there, she of this time anyways, she noticed my artwork, and she was just blown away by it. She's like, I've never seen something as nice as this in a long time. And I was kind of going, well, not really that great. For me, it wasn't. It was basically, trial and error. But she was like, no, I could see the pain in the eyes. I could see the, ever the excitement of the animals, just she was just blown away. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I did do good. But yeah, like the pendulum said, take your art to the farmer's market and see where you go from there. That you should be able to get money for it. So at least you know that it'll get something. Else? I do want to say this though. If you subscribe, like, and comment any of my videos, then it helps me out and it makes me want to make more videos for you guys. And I try my best to get it so that it sounds okay, because yeah, I'm not always talk savvy with some things. But yeah, like I said, if you like, subscribe. Oh, and click the notification bell. That way you can get more videos of mine. I will be doing more of these. If I can get at least 100 likes on this one, I probably will be doing more of these live ones like this, because I really need to know if it's actually valuable enough to do so. So if you guys really want me to keep going like this and having more of these type of videos, then yeah, it would be great if you could do that. It helps me a lot. But yeah, it's getting pretty late now and I have to head out for a little bit. So I'm going to end this stream. And if you guys have any more questions or anything like that, you can message me and I will get back to you. Okay? So I will see you tomorrow or even today sometime. Have a good day, lovelies. Bye.